The next activity that we're going to do today is we're going to learn how to create a longer assessment. Now, we're going to use a choose from a list, and then we're going to create text paragraph instead of our short warm-up or exit ticket assessment that we had created earlier. So just as we had before, we're going to start with new. We're going to go over to Google Forms. Our pop-up window, just as we had done before, I'm going to title this, and it is going to be Chapter 4 Essential Questions. I'm going to call this A purple. I'm not going to do anything with my form settings. I'm going to leave that alone. Now, my title question, my first question. The question is going to be, choose a date for the essential question you want to answer. And instead of multiple choice, we're going to choose from a list. And what it's going to do, it's going to create a drop-down menu for us to be able to choose answers. So I'm going to put in 4 dates. Now, I've done units where I've done 12 days that my kids had to answer our essential questions. I'm only going to do 4. I'm going to ask you, when you create yours for this activity, that you use 3 or 4 so we can get the hang of it, make sure we understand how to create our separate pages and such. So I'm putting in my date. Whoops. And if you notice, it does let you know when you spell wrong. There we go. And the last date I'm going to put in is Thursday from last week. So I do want it to go to a page based on an answer. I don't have those pages yet, so we're going to wait. I do want this to be a required question, and I'm done with this. Now, I need to create those extra pages. So I'm going to come up to my insert, and I'm going to put a page break. And what that's going to do is it's going to add another page for me. So if you notice, instead of 1 of 2, or 1 of 1, as it said before, it now says 1 of 2. Again, I'm going to do this so I have 4 extra pages. So a total of 5 pages. Oops. So there's page 1 of 5, page 2 of 5. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to edit my questions. I want this question to go to page 2, this one to go to page 3, this one to go to 4, and this one to go to page 5. And I am done. So there's my done. Now I want to edit page 2. So I'm going to come to edit, and I'm going to title this now. I'm going to put the first date that I had put down, and it was Monday, November 17, 2014. That's my title. I'm going to add an item. This is where I'm going to add that text, paragraph text. So there's my question. Here's my title. Now I'm going to have a question. Question I'm going to answer for you science people. Why should we understand how organisms, places, and ideas have changed over time? So you can put any of your essential questions. You can do many different things with this type of form. Like I said, I like using this one. I have my kids answer the essential question or objective that we do every day. That way I can go in. It helps them to remember what we did that day answer a question, we come back the next day, we talk about it. That way if someone was stuck, we can fix those misunderstandings right there. Now, to help me separate the data, one of the things that I've learned to do is I ask my kids to please start the answer with your last name. What this does is it helps you when you want to separate the data to make sure all your kids have answered, or know what answers when you look at your summary go with which student. So an example, I'm going to put King dash, we need to, and that would be the start of my answer, dot, dot, dot. So that's my help text. So my kids can see that, this is what I want. And the first time we do this, I would make sure I go over it the first couple of times, remind the kids that they need to put their last name first to be able to answer their questions. Again, I'm going to have a required question, and now I'm done. So I hit done. There's my question. I'm going to come over here, after page 2. I don't want to continue the next page because I'll just go to 3. After that's done, I want them to be able to submit the form. I really only want my kids to do this one at a time, so they're not bogged down. They see all these questions and go, so much to do. So I've made it so that they only see one question on a page. This way they can do it one day at a time. If they choose to do it all at once, they're still not, oh my gosh, question overload. So I'm going to pause right here, and then I'm going to come back, and we're going to have a completed form. All right, and we're back, and I have a completed form now. So I've gone ahead, and I've put in all of our other questions. Each time, page 3, I have it submit the form. After page 4, submit the form. After page 5, there will be no submit form. I mean, they will submit the form, but we have no other pages afterwards. So the default is to submit the form. So come down to the bottom. Unlike the short answer or the short assessment that we had done earlier, I do want them to be able to submit another response. Again, depending on how you have your kids answer the questions. But if you want the kids to be able to answer them as they go, or you want them to be able to do this at like the end of a unit, if you have the submit another response, it makes it very easy for them to do. So we're done with everything. So now we're going to come over to our send form. Just as before, here's our long web address. Again, I am going to show you how to make that a QR code or turn it into a bit.ly to make it shorter so it does make a little more sense for your students. As I had asked before, when you do this activity, I want you to send me the activity. So we're going to type in my email address here, and we're going to send it to me. Boom, there it goes. Maybe. All right, so we're done. Now, I'm going to take a look at what the live form looks like so you can see what it looks like. And here we are. One easy, simple question for them to answer. They choose a date. We're going to choose Thursday. We're going to hit continue. Our Thursday question, is the world ready, or is the world today a better place than the world was than the world of the past? Will our future world be better than today's world? And again, please start the answer with your last name. So I'm going to put in a response. This is a test response. Submit my answer. I can submit another response if I want, but my response has been recorded. So I'm done. And if you notice up here, I've got some responses. I've gone ahead in advance and put some responses in. So I'm going to close this and we're going to look at those responses. So here's my Google Sheets with the responses, and here's where I've put in some responses previous. So you can see where they've, here's my Monday, my Tuesday, my Wednesday. Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go to form. I'm going to show summary of responses. And here's where I'm going to see my summary. I can see that I have 3 responses for Monday, 3 for Tuesday, but only 1 for Wednesday and Thursday. And here are my responses. It's taken it, it's put it nice and neat for me. Here's what Elias said. Smith said, King said. And again, down below, Smith, Elias, and King. And then only King has responded on Wednesday and Thursday. So this is where I can go, I can read their responses, make sure that they understand what they're doing. So this was an example of a long form for the assessment using choose from a list. What I'd like for you to do now is to create an assessment 3-4 days, just as this was done. Email it to me. That way I can do some critiquing for you, let you know how it looks, give you some hints, or again, just tell you how awesome it is. So I look forward to those, and thank you.